Hi, and welcome back to another AI in 5. I'm your host, Simon Chris. Joining me today from Warsaw in Poland is Talita Honorato Rzeszewicz. Now, Talita is a medical doctor and an AI researcher, and we're going to talk about the intersection of those two. Hi, Talita, and welcome to AI in 5. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Simon. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's great to chat. Now, I loved our chance meeting in Geneva just recently. And I love the fact that you come from a medical background. You're a medical trained doctor, but you kind of fell in love with the data and the research, which led you to studying epidemiology, doing your PhD. And you're right at that intersection between medicine and the data and research behind medical models, right?
Yes, that's correct. Um, so that what we're observing now and looking at all the evolution, of medical statistics and collection of data, the importance of data. Then we went from small data to the big data movement. There was a
Yeah.
moment where everybody was crazy about, no, big data. We have to collect these big data sets and
Yeah.
lifelines. So where I did my PhD in the Netherlands, there at the time that I was doing there was a big thing about, trying to collect data from individuals from a certain moment when they accept to be in research and follow them for a very long time to understand, the process of health and disease for a very long time. And now we're in that moment in which, yeah, we're set in stone. Data is essential. Good data, it's very, very good. And just dream about everything that you can know, everything that was a little bit blurred in the end, and the possibilities of analyzing it in a multi-layered system, very complex and something that we can even visualize,
Yeah.
because within the system, they get the associations themselves. Is that every question that everybody wanted to know, well, how much can I attribute my bad habits to whatever is it that you're falling sick at the moment? And
Yeah.
if we get all the information connected and doing these analysis for us, that would be amazing. And not only in terms of populational health, right? Global health and looking at everyone. That's something that we always miss because our results are usually averages,
Yeah.
right? So
Averages
it
of
doesn't
averages.
take
Yeah.
averages and averages. So we don't look into each individual. And that's where we can also add precision medicine and AI. And my mind is
Yeah.
just,
Wow. Yeah. Precision. And I imagine, I mean, I remember years ago having to track my symptoms in a notepad and give that to the doctor. And of course, if I happened to write it down, good. If he read it the right way. Now, of course, with all of the modern tech, we must be able to get large scale data at speed.
you can get large scale data at speed, but not only that you get large scale, you can get your own data, right, at your own time. And that's where it's the most important because what we have sometimes is when we do some sort of clinical evaluation or research with a group of patients, you will get the results that you need. And you would get them for the whole group that were recruited for the evaluation. But
Mm.
now you don't need to do it within your iPad. The doctor can see it real time as we're collecting data. And if you have an algorithm added to that, you can already establish some of the risks and, deploy that into your workflow of saying, let's say you need already, well, from what I see here, we will automatically just take you to a specialist because that's what you need at the moment. And that's what's most interesting for all the patients, not only to see, what's coming out as an average, let's say, effectiveness of a certain treatment, but how is it affecting you
Yeah.
specifically?
And I've
So
got I've got a great data collection device right here. My
yeah.
little wearable watch that's collecting all type of stuff. Okay, so that we're right at time, and I know we could talk for another 3 hours about this. I ask everybody one simple question. I'd love your quick 15-20 second answer. What if an organization is just starting their AI journey? What should they be thinking about?
I would definitely look into the demographics of the world. because most people nowadays have a very outdated idea of how the world looks like, what
Mm,
the markets look like, where do you need to invest your money,
yep.
what are the emerging markets that are coming out, what are their needs? And there will be consumers coming out of that. That's the first point. And
Yeah.
the second point is make sure that you go to their needs because when there's a need, people will go for it. People
Yep.
will look for it. So make sure you have an updated version of the world.
Okay. Fantastic advice, Talita. Thank you so much for being a part of AI in 5.
No, thank you so much for having me, Simon.